Do you feel like you're constantly losing to the narcissist? No matter what you do, you've done all the right things, and this is going to be the video for you. So every day, clients hand me screenshots, bank statements, ledgers, recordings, and they're like, I've got all this evidence. I've done all the right things, and yet I still feel like I'm losing. The judge is against me. The lawyer's not listening. The real reason is it's not about you. It's about the strategy. It's about what's actually happening. And so there's a lot of things at play behind the scenes that you probably don't even know, because when you start down this path with a narcissist, there's no playbook with this, right? And even for lawyers, there's no playbook for this. Here's the thing. It's not the evidence that you have. It's not the judge. It's a trap, the whole situation, the whole thing. And so that's what I want to get into here today. So by the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what the real reasons are that you are losing to that narcissist. And I'm also going to give you a 4-step pivot that's going to help you actually start turning chaos into leverage and actually start winning your case. Okay. By the way, if you don't know me and you're here for the first time, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm an attorney. I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert, the best-selling author of the book Slay the Bully: How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win. And on this channel, I provide tactics and strategies, real resources for you to actually turn the tables and start turning things around when you're dealing with a high conflict personality. So if you're new, I invite you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Here's the thing. It is that the system is not set up for dealing with somebody who has a high conflict personality. So you're over here feeling like, I'm not getting the life I signed up for. I did all the right things. I'm now stuck in a position where this person is getting away with lies, smears, they're charming everybody, and I'm not getting any traction. And maybe you've already spent like $20,000 in attorney's fees, and you're still feeling like you're losing, or maybe 30 or 40 or 50, who knows? I mean, sometimes it's been a whole lot more than that, right? The thing is that there's a disconnect between what you are doing and what you're saying and what you're feeling and what the judge needs in order to make their decisions, because the judge's job is simply to just apply the law and move on. And you're also dealing with a judge who's probably overworked, underpaid, has too many cases on their docket. They have a different agenda going on, because their agenda is basically get the cases off their docket as quickly as possible because they have too many, and to also not get appealed because they get judged, no pun intended, on how they're doing with the number of appeals. If they get appealed too many times, then they get a lower rating, or they don't get reappointed, or they don't get revoted in, or whatever it is. That's also kind of an agenda in the back of their minds as well. As far as lawyers are concerned, lawyers know the law, but they don't know your life. So you really need to use the lawyer as a tool, not a savior, because if you try to use your lawyer as a tool, then you're going to feel victimized all over again. And then the narcissist, most people think the narcissist wants to win, but the narcissist doesn't necessarily want to win. What they want is to continue to keep the chaos going. That's their entire strategy. Their entire strategy is chaos. And it's to make you crazy, make you think you're the one who has the problem. And so what they're going to do is keep that chaos going, because that gives them a sense of control. And so they do that without even thinking about what the long-term effects are of their behavior, or the long-term impact is of their behavior. They're constantly in their limbic brain, their emotional brain, not in the prefrontal cortex. So they don't think from reason, judgment, rationality. They're thinking from emotion, like, how can I get this person? How can I take them down before they take me down? Because they have an oversensitive amygdala, which keeps them in this fight or flight fear mentality. And so that's where they want you to be. It's not a recipe for success. It's not a recipe for resolution. And so when judges say, just go work it out, go to a mediation and work it out, it's impossible to do when you're dealing with that kind of behavior. So what your job is to do is to translate your documentation, your messages, your social media posts, your recordings, your videos, whatever it is that you have, the witnesses even, into a simplified patterns, into organized evidence that judges will actually listen to, and that is something that applies to the law, whatever it is that applies to your particular situation. So no matter where you live in the world, there's going to be a set of laws that dictate what's going to happen in your particular situation. The more you can get that law applied to your facts, and in a way that's super simple, easy for a judge to digest, easy for them to follow, the more you will be able to get the outcome that you want. But even better than that is the step before that, when you go into conflict resolution discussions, whether it's a mediation, a four-way, or a sit-down, whatever it is, then you're going to have the power because you'll have pressure. You'll be able to have leverage, because a narcissist's number one thing that they want to protect more than anything else is their image, how they look to the world. The more you can put pressure on that by saying, hey, you don't want to look bad in front of the judge, because judge is always diamond level supply, that image for them, or other people in their life. Maybe it's their employees, maybe it's family, maybe it's employer, maybe it's clients, who knows, but it could be anybody in your community. The more you can put pressure against that by documenting what they're doing and demonstrating, you know what, here's how many times you lied, here's how many times you were late, here's how many times what you said you're earning doesn't match up with what is on the financial affidavit. That's how you start to win. You stay in your own zone of your prefrontal cortex. You don't allow them to trigger you, because the more you do that, the more they have power over you. You're literally saying, here you go, here's my power.
Narcissists have a confession to make, and that is that they are way more afraid of you than you are of them, especially in court cases, mediation cases, or any kind of cases where you have to negotiate with them. But you know what? I have a confession to make too. I'm sick and tired of these people bullying you and making you feel exhausted and paying way too much in attorney's fees and dragging you through the mud. My name is Rebecca Zung, and I'm an attorney. I've been recognized by U.S. News as one of the best lawyers in America. And in fact, I was so sick and tired of these people bullying you that I started studying narcissism so that I could beat them in the courtroom. And now I'm here to make the case so that you can win too. I developed a 4-part proven blueprint that has helped tens of thousands of people take back their freedom, win, and get back their power. And now I'm sharing it with you in a special live event, Outsmart the Narcissist, the 4-part proven plan to take back your power. 4 simple steps, 1 free live event, 1 free hour of your life. That's what stands between you being in hell and you being free. Join me, click the link for Outsmart the Narcissist, the 4-step proven plan to take back your power. Just click the link and let's go.
So narcissists trigger fear or guilt, and then your amygdala hijacked, and then you're not in logic anymore. Your prefrontal cortex is literally shut down, and you react. And that reaction becomes their new leverage exhibit, by the way, and round your evidence pile grows, but your credibility then shrink. So if you are so ready to flip the power, I want you to put that in the comments right now. Flip the power. Flip the power so that everybody knows that you guys are justice warriors and you are waking up. What happens with amygdala hijack is the brain basically is triggered, and by whatever it is, rapid fire texting, late night calls, they bait you in your texts, emails, conversations, whatever, and then you send a ranty reply. Is this what you think? How could you think that? Blah, blah, blah. And then there off you go. Okay. And now there's an exhibit against you. So I always say never jade, never justify, argue, defend, or explain. So what else do they do? They will love bomb you right before a hearing. Okay, so that you think, oh, maybe they actually are coming to their senses. Maybe, they actually are going to sign something here. I think we're pretty close. And then what happens? You drop your contempt motion, you give in, you promise things that you maybe shouldn't, and then your leverage is gone. They also just bank on your fatigue. You're going to have cognitive fatigue, brain fatigue, where you just are like, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I just want to be done with this thing. There's a price for freedom. You end up in chaos, constant chaos, because you think you're going to be done, but then you can't be done. They just won't let you out. Okay, and you feel like you're stuck in this hell that you can never get out of. Power against them is not the tactic. Trying to push up against them, that doesn't work. Okay, remember, you have to take the lead in your particular situation because, as I said, lawyers know the law, but not your life. So you need to use them as a tool, not a savior. You have to lead the strategy. Otherwise, you're going to feel victimized all over again. And remember, the courts don't award pain, they award proof. Patterns equals power. Data, not drama. And you already have the proof. You just need to create the patterns the judge can't ignore. So step one is pause and label. So 4-4-4 breath, in for 4, hold it for 4, out for 4, and say, I see what you're trying to do. This is a control trigger. And that will switch your activity in your brain from amygdala to prefrontal cortex. All right. So now you're in rationality and it turns that prefrontal cortex back on. Then the second thing is document, don't dialogue. Screenshot, drop it into a folder, no reply for at least 30 minutes. That keeps you out of their drama. Data, not drama. Document, don't dialogue. That allows you to take back control, keeps your cortisol levels down. It turns whatever their behavior is into your gift, because now you're going to use their own behavior against them. You don't give them something to use against you. So the next step is to frame it with the law. Figure out wherever it is that you are, whether you're in Banff, Canada, or France, or in Iowa, wherever you are, note the rule, the statute, and then the behavior that statute is being violated with. All right. So that will transform your emotion into objective leverage. That's number 3. Number 4 is respond with a boundary script. 1 sentence. Keep it short. No jade. No, never justifying, argue, defending, or explaining. Please use the Our Family Wizard app. Thank you very much. It reasserts control. It denies supply. Right? You want to be denying the supply in. A narcissist's entire playbook is chaos. It feeds their supply. So your job is to flip that chaos into diamond level pressure against their public image, because nothing threatens them more. If you need a way to get started with documenting, I highly recommend you get my Doc the Narc cheat sheet. It's just 1 page, a few boxes, 0 overwhelm. The link is docthenarc.com. And then join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, and you'll get 0 judgment, lots of support, and I'll see you on the inside of both of those. Just remember, if somebody says you're a horrible parent or you're terrible with money or whatever, just go, oh, or I'm going to take you down. You're going to have nothing. I will destroy you. All right. You're going to be like, pause and label, breathe in 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4. All right. And then document. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. Click. Keep it in a folder in your G drive. Frame it with the law. Violates the standing order. No disparagement. Thank you. Then send a boundary script back. Per the standing order, paragraph 3, communications stay in Our Family Wizard. Thank you. Send. All right. Total time, 45 seconds. No rent, no leverage loss. In fact, leverage gained. The next step, if you haven't gotten my Slay AI, that's going to be your next step, because Slay AI will, in under a minute, auto tag it, disparagement, cite that standing order for you, figure it out what it is, build an exhibit table for you titled Pattern of Disparaging Text. Now you hold the hammer. So just remember that losing isn't about who's smarter, what's fair. It's literally you flipping the loop with pause, document, law frame, and boundary script. Get my free cheat sheet at docthenarc.com to get started, and then let Slay AI do the heavy lift, all right? And then if you haven't subscribed here so far, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, and like this video and share it with other people who need to hear this right now, because there's a lot of people who need this advice. If you're a renter, this is a no-brainer. You earn points on groceries and travel, so why not on rent? With Built, paying rent finally pays off. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, and your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month, no matter where you live or who your landlord is. Your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to your exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. These include extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, and unique experiences only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to miles and hotel points. Your rent can literally take you places. Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/negotiate. That's joinbilt.com/negotiate. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. That's joinbuilt.com/negotiate. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches or discomfort or stress? CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body instead of against it. I have really close family members and friends who have dealt with stress or health issues, really severe health issues, and I have seen this work amazing miracles for them. And what I love about their products is that not only does it help relieve discomfort or stress or sleeplessness, but they're actually third-party lab tested and USDA approved, and they're organic, so they ensure safety and purity. And right now, Negotiate Your Best Life podcast listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/negotiate and use the code negotiate at your checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/negotiate and use the code negotiate. Running a retail business is no joke. It is a lot to juggle. That's why I love Shopify Point of Sale, and I use it for shop.rebeccazung.com. It brings it all together. Shopify POS is a unified command center that connects your in-store and online operations, even across 1,000 locations. Customers can shop how they want, endless aisles, ship to customer, buy online, pick up in store, and your staff has all the tools they need to close every single sale. And retention matters too. Shopify POS can help turn one-time buyers into loyal fans with personalized experiences and first-party data. And the results speak for themselves. According to EY, businesses using Shopify POS see 22% better total cost of ownership and an average of 8.9% sales uplift. Want more? All right, check it out at shopify.com/negotiate, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/negotiate. And then the next video that I want you to watch is Read a Narcissist Like a Polygraph Courtroom Body Language Hack. So you'll combine today's mental armor with a micro-tell radar, which is super cool. Share this video with a warrior friend and be sure that you're subscribed. And then remember, when you master your brain, you flip that power. All right. And I will see you in that next video.